Hi everyone, welcome to my ultimate wedding planner. Today I will be showing you how to use this planner and some little tips and tricks I think it will make it easier for you to use. I have released a previous version of this planner, however it's a little outdated and I really wanted to make a video where I can record myself showing you how to use the spreadsheet rather than just screenshots in my other video. Now, I know that not everybody is as skilled as other people may be at using a program like Excel. It's a wonderful program that I find is really helpful for many things, especially budgeting. But like I said, not everybody knows how to use it, and with a wedding to plan as well as your everyday life, you don't need to be stressing about something like this. It's the main reason why I created this spreadsheet for you. I've done all the hard work for you, and now I'd like to show you how easy it is to use. So let's get started. Okay, so we're going to look at the guest list at the moment. This is the first sheet in the workbook. We're going to go through each section one by one. So first off, we're going to start with the bride's family. Now, we have Nathan Green, he's in this first cell. For those of you who don't know, each bar in Excel is known as a cell. So Nathan Green, his wife Ellie, and their daughter Alice. So next to this, we've got a section for adults 18 plus, 12 to 18s, and under 12s. Now the reason for this is because most caterers and venues will ask you, okay, how many adults are you going to have? How many 12 to 18s? How many under 12s? And the reason they'll ask this is so they know what pricing to give you for each, because they're obviously going to be different. And same with the beverage packages, they're always going to be different because you're not going to charge for somebody who's not going to be drinking alcohol a full price like you would for an adult that will be drinking alcohol. So for Nathan and Ellie, what we're going to do is in these cells we're going to put a 1. I'll explain why we're doing this in a little bit, but for now we're going to put them as a 1 because they're both adults. Now Alice here, she's only 15, so we're going to put a 1 in the 12 to 18s because that's where she fits. Moving across to the groom's family, we have Chris, Lauren, Hannah and Reese Harmon. Now they're all in the 1 section, as you can see, they're all in the 1 cell. I'm going to explain why I prefer this over having them individual like this in just a couple of minutes. But for now we're going to look at these guys. So Chris and Lauren are husband and wife and they are adults. So rather than putting a 1, there's actually 2 of them, so we're going to put 2 in that section there for adults 18 plus. Their daughter Hannah, say she's 16, so we're going to put a 1 in the 12 to 18 section. And then little old Reese, he's only 3 years old, so he's under 12, we're going to put a 1 in the under 12 section. Scrolling across, we're going to look at friends. I'm also going to explain to you why those numbers are important. So for the bride's family, you can see total 18 plus. It shows your grand total there, it says there's 2. So in the bride's family, you know that you have 2 adults. If you go across, you can see total 2 to 18. You can see that we have 1. Again with the groom's family, go down here. Total 18 plus in the groom's family, it's only 2. Grooms for the 12 to 18, there's only 1. And the under 12s, there's only 1. Now we've got nothing in the friends section here, but I'm going to show you, it updates itself automatically. So no matter what number you put in these next couple of sections, it's always going to update that. So keep an eye on this green section here while we do this. So we're going to look at Ray Frederick. He's going to be an adult, so we're going to put 1 there and then hit enter, and as you can see this updated, so it's now showing that we have 1 adult. Now Tim, he's another adult, we're going to put a 1 there, hit enter. You can see here it's updated itself. Now for this down the bottom, grand total of guests, you can see at the moment we have a grand total of 9 guests because that's how many we put a value in for. There are 6 adults in total, 2 12 to 18s and 1 under 12. Now watch this section as I enter a number for Melissa. Keep an eye down here. There we go, it's just updated itself. We now have a total of 10 guests. We have 7 of them adults, 2 are 18 or to 12, and there are 1 under 12. Now, this section is vital because these all link up to other sheets which we will go through in a minute. But right now I'm going to show you why this method is much more preferable when filling in their names rather than this one. Okay, the invitation tracker. This next section is where I think it's crucial that you put everybody on one line. The best way to determine if you should put them on one line is if they all live at the one address, and this is the reason why. So here we've got Nathan, Ellie and Alice. Now anything you see in pink will be the brides, because if we go back to the guest list, the bride, she's in pink, and if we scroll down we'll have the blue, which is the groom, and the green, which is the friends. Now you can see everybody's names already there. The reason that's happened is because in here, up the top here, it says guest list A7. You don't need to worry about that. Basically all that is that it's saying whatever gets put into guest list A7, so here, let's put Tom there, hit enter. If we go back to the invitation, his name already gets copied across here. So you don't have to sit there and retype everybody's name. You type it in once in the guest list and it'll copy across to all other sheets that is appropriate for it. So let's go back to these guys. Okay, address. For instance, 16. Oops. Okay, that's the address of Nathan Green. But now Ellie lives at the same place, so then we've got to type it in again. And what Excel will do, so if you start typing, it will automatically say, well, you've already got this, is that what you want? And we'll autofill it for you. Now, that's tedious. It also means what you have to do is, we've got address, and then here you got, have they RSVP'd, yes or no? Now, if they haven't RSVP'd, what is probably best is if you go back to your guest list and delete their name. This will make more sense in the seating plan when it comes to it. But you can simply say, yes, they have RSVP'd, or no, they haven't. And you can go make sure you go back and delete their name. So if there's an N here, then make sure that section is completely clear. Next, you've got special requirements. This is anything, so if they're on a diet, if they are gluten-free, if they've got any allergies, anything like that, vegan, whatever, you put it in special requirements here. Next, here we've got number. Okay, so what this is just, we're going to put a 1 there. But we're not going to do it for all of them because that number means we need 1 invitation for these guys. And what it'll do, it'll tally up here exactly how many invitations you need rather than sitting there trying to count it all up. Now let's go down to these guys. This is why I prefer this method. So these are all going to be on the 1 invitation. So let's say they live at okay, there we go, there's their address. Now you might have to keep scrolling back up to double check this and see where it is. So that's the RSVP, they've said yes, they're coming. Dietary requirements is the next special requirement. Let's say that Hannah is allergic to peanuts. Whoops, peanuts. There we go, so now you know that. Next section is number. So they only need 1 invitation, so we'll only throw 1 in there. If you scroll back up to the top, go across to number of invitations required, it is now 2. So that's the invitation tracker. It's very nice and very simple. But just remember, if there's going to be a no, make sure you come back to the guest list. Do not, under any circumstances, from this point forward, if you're going to delete a name, don't delete it from here. Because that's not actually where the information is. It's just copying it from the guest list. So if we delete Ellie there, hit enter. We go back to the guest list, she's still there. She's still on the guest list. And that also means that across here, this is all going to be out of whack because we've set on the invitations, oh, she's deleted, she's not coming. But according to this, we've still got 10 guests where we should be deleting Ellie. Make sure if you delete their name, make sure you delete their number 1 or you update their numbers in the appropriate categories. And here, it's now tallied it up, so now we've only got 9 guests. Okay, now we're up to the timeline of your wedding day. Now this is going to be the day before the wedding, or the several days before the wedding, and the pre-ceremony, everything like that. We'll go through that in a second, but this is not a checklist. We have a checklist, it's a bit later on, but right now we're just going to look at timelines. So first here we've got pre-wedding. So we've got bride and bridesmaids, groom and groomsmen. You can put in here what each person has to do. So we're going to look at 1 week before, brides and bridesmaids, what do they need to do? Maybe, I don't know, get haircut. There you go. For groom and groomsmen, same thing. Get a haircut. Now 4 days before the wedding, you might say, oh, the girls, they need to get their nails done and maybe a pedi as well. It doesn't matter what it is. If it needs to be done, simply put it in this section so you don't forget, and it goes all the way down till the day before. Now, I'm going to move across to pre-ceremony and ceremony. You can adjust these times. You don't have to have what's exactly here, and I'll show you how you can. I'll show you a really nice cheat way of doing it. It's probably the best way I can put it, a nice cheat way. So we're going to have pre-ceremony. So again, we've got the 2 columns because at the moment they're both separate. Don't let them see each other. Unless you want to do that, that's fine by me. So say 4 AM bride bridesmaids, the hair and makeup starts. And from here you can put down, say, okay, bridesmaid 1 gets hair, and then bridesmaid 2 is having her makeup done. Just go from there, fill it out so you can easily say to everybody, if you want you can print this out, or you can send it to him and say, okay, this is your schedule, this is what's happening, no arguments. Same for the groom and groomsmen. And then down here you can also have, say, the photographer's going to arrive. So the photographer arrives at 9 AM for the bride and bridesmaids. And I've put this all the way down to 3 o'clock. It's not, don't think that you have to have all your preparations going from 4 AM till 3 o'clock. It's just a buffer. Okay, now we're going to go across the ceremony. There we are. Alright, so again, depending on when your ceremony starts is where you enter all these things. Things like groomsmen should already be there. Things like bridal party arrives. Ceremony finishes, photos begin, bridal party leaves, anything like that, throw it in this section. Now, pre-reception. This sounds a little bit strange, but bear with me. Pre-reception basically is the time between when you leave the ceremony to when you arrive at the reception. So for most bridal parties, this will be when you're getting in your cars, when you are going off to photo locations. So this is something that you can also work with your photographer. You can both have the same list so you know what's going on, rather than, oh, I'll just send you an email and this is maybe what we'll do. The whole reason for this whole planner is so that it's all in the one spot. You don't have to go running through all those emails trying to figure out, oh gosh, where's that message from my photographer saying about the times? Oh, I've lost it. I wrote it down somewhere, but it's gone. You don't have to worry about any of that. It's all going to be here. Now, reception. This is where I'm going to show you the nice little cheat. Alright, for most receptions are probably about 5:30 in the afternoon, sometimes like that. Doesn't matter what it is. Okay, so we're going to say it starts at 5. So 5 o'clock, and then we're going to put PM. Hit enter. It's automatically going to adjust it so it's all in capitals. Now, depending on your time increments for reception, it's usually about 15 minutes is what you want to have your buffer as. So the next one we're going to have is 5:15 space PM. It's automatically adjusted it. Now, it gets really tedious sitting there typing each 15-minute increment. As long as we've got those two, what we can do is highlight them. And what you're going to see here is this little black square here. If you put your cursor over it, it's going to turn into a solid black cross. Just click it and start dragging down. And you can see next to it, the more you drag down, the more it's going up by 15-minute increments. So just keep going, let it drag down. Whoops, 12 AM. Bang, it's done. Rather than you sitting there typing it out and then missing one, making a mistake, tearing your hair out, that is a great little cheat, and that's why I love Excel, because there are little shortcuts like that that will make it easier for you. So, and this is another thing too, you can give this to your DJ. So you can let your DJ know, oh, okay, at 6:30 the bridal party is going to enter. So bridal party enters. And then what you can do then is you can write the list. So you can say, oh, okay, first it's going to be bridesmaid. We're not going to give them names. We'll just say bridesmaid 5 and groomsman 5. And what you can do is write their name down, so then you can just give that to the DJ and say, there's a list. That's the order they're arriving in. This is their songs. Anything like that. It's really handy that you can just say to them, oh, I've already got this list for you. Here you go. There it is. I haven't had to have it write it down. Bang, it's there. So that is the timeline for this planner. Okay, this next section is the wedding budget. Wedding budgets can be really confusing. You can easily lose track of where you're up to, and it's just a nightmare. Like I said, the beautiful thing about Excel is that you can put formulas in which will automatically calculate everything for you. Like I said though, not everybody is good at doing that. Not everybody has any idea what to do. It's all done here for you. Let's go through it. So first up, we're going to look over here. We've got all these different little sections. We've got the bride and groom with all their, what they need, beauty, self-explanatory, the flowers, gifts and favours, anything for the ceremony, anything for the reception, anything for the honeymoon, other, and then you've got miscellaneous down here where you can add anything you want. So let's just head back up to the top for a second now. This is how this all works. So the wedding dress, say you got that from the bridal house, and if you want that you can put in the brand, and you can even put, there we go, that's the dress, that's what your wedding dress is. Now, you've estimated that, oh gosh, it's probably going to cost about $2,000, isn't it? So we're going to put $2,000 in the estimated section, hit enter. Now, what that does is down here, this is going to automatically tally. Like I said, the brilliance of formulas. Down here, total, $2,000. Up here, $2,000. So at the moment we're estimating, okay, so for our wedding's costing $2,000, but that's only the dress. Now, you've gotten to the shop, you've got the actual cost, you've been told for alterations, maybe they've got a discount going on, I don't know. But you've actually found out your dress is selling $1,800. So you can put $1,800 in there and hit enter. Now this is updated a little bit more than what the estimated did. You can leave your estimate, don't bother changing it. That's just to sort of roughly give you ideas of numbers and what kind of a budget you'll be looking at. For your actual, so $1,800 down here is now the new total, and up here, you got the total again. This total up here calculates every single section down the page. Everything in purple just here, it is all going to tally up to the top here. Now, you found out how much your dress is. How much have you paid off your dress? Okay, we paid a deposit. Say the deposit was $250. Hit enter. Alright, so your actual wedding so far is costing $1,800. The amount you've paid so far is $250. This here is how much you're remaining over the entire wedding. And so down here it also shows for this entire section, you've still got $1,550 remaining. You've paid $250 out of that. Now let's quickly scroll down a little bit further and show you how this works. Let's go for transport. There we go. Okay, say you're getting a Hummer. Let's make that a stretch Hummer. Whoops. Double click. Stretch Hummer. Enter. Okay, we've estimated, oh gosh, $800. See, there we go, automatically tallied up. But what it's actually going to cost is a little bit more, unfortunately. $1,200. There we go. So we'll tally that there. How much have we paid off it? Let's say we've only paid half of that. So there we go. It's all totaling down there. So if we scroll all the way back up the top, hey, look at this. So far the wedding's cost $3,000. We've paid $850 of that. And now we only have $2,150 left. This makes it so much simpler. It really honestly does, and the amount of feedback I've had from a lot of people saying that this is their favourite part of the planner makes me really happy. Although I can't take credit for it, I actually saw this idea in another planner. It was very simple. It wasn't to this level of detail, it was simply just actual and how much is due to be paid. I figured we needed to put an estimate so that way you can start to estimate, or even budget. Okay, I'm not going to spend more than $2,000 on my wedding dress. I'm not going to spend more than $150 on my veil. Just things like that. You can just estimate it and say, okay, that's what I'm aiming for at the moment, but this is actually what it's costing, and so on and so forth. It's so simple, and it's just all there. It's not in 5,000 different pieces of paper or post-it notes or anything like that lying around the house. It's just bang, it's all there ready to go. Second last one, song and music list. This one's really simple. You've got ceremony and then you've got reception. In each of the subcategories here, you just put what your music is, what you have decided to choose, and again, this is something you can send through to your DJ. If he starts asking questions, just bang, there it is. If you really need to add more lines, for this one you can, for a lot of the other ones you can't. So for instance, for the budget, if you try and add another row, then it's not going to work. Quite honestly, it will not work. So with this one you can. So instead, up the top here where it says insert, just click down and insert sheet rows. This will insert a row. You'll usually do it above it, or if you want to do a column as well, if you want to add something else in here, so there's another column, whether it's, oh, this is what the band's playing, or this is what the DJ's playing, or whatever else. If you need to add a column, go back up to insert columns. This will always insert it to the left of where you've originally selected. So just remember, finally, last sheet we have here is the checklist. Now, this is not a checklist that you should follow specifically. My best advice would probably be to say, this is the latest that this should be completed. So what I mean by that is 18 months out. It says start guest list. You could probably start your guest list then, because guests are very easy to manage. But things like researching and booking your venues, depending on where you are, where you live, some venues are booked out 2 years in advance. Now, now. That can be very, very daunting. 2 years, my goodness. You might get lucky, you might go to a venue 10 months before and they, yeah, we're free. And that's, you're really lucky there, but secure your venue early. That's probably my best advice, would be secure a lot of these things early so that you've got more time to maybe save up for that, or save up to buy something a bit bigger and better. Anything like that. So 18 months out, probably when you want to start having some of your big things done. 16 months, 12 months, 10, 8, 6 months, 4, 3, 2, 1 month, and 1 week. So as you can see, there's a lot of stuff here, but as you're getting closer and closer to the date, these things are getting smaller and smaller. They're also getting easier and easier, so that it's less for you to worry about 3 months out, because you've already done it. It's all done. Now again, when it comes to, if you don't need to research a wedding plan, if you don't plan on using one, then you probably could delete that, because I'm not going to use it, so don't worry about it. Things like determining a budget, you're going to have to determine a budget, but you've done it. Don't necessarily delete that one. Go back up to your little paint bucket here. Pick a colour. Determine budget. That's done. That's a big tick. What else? Research hair and makeup. My cousin owns a beauty salon. She's already said she can do it. She's booked me in. That's great. Tick that off. Research accessories. I'm borrowing jewellery from my grandmother or my aunt, my mother, my sister, anybody. Yep, that's done. So there are little things you can look ahead and say, well, I know I can do that right now. Tick that off, that's great. But these things here, don't try and ignore them. Don't try and jump ahead and do all the fun things first, because otherwise you're going to find yourself in a whole world of trouble. Start ticking off this stuff if you can quickly. Tick one of these off, great, perfect. You're going ahead. But these sort of things, you need to make sure this is the last possible time to do this. That's probably the best advice I can give you, because you do look through this list, there is a lot of things to get yourself organised. There may be things in there that you haven't seen before. There may be things there that you know you need but aren't in the list. So that's quite simple, just add it in here. Just click on the cell and start typing. And then once you're done, you can just hit the red bucket and say it's done. There's a lot of things in here that may not apply to you, but it's still good to have there as a reminder that this is something I do need to think about. Well, that's all I got for you today. Thank you so much for watching. If you've got any feedback or any comments, then feel free to leave them down below. And remember to love always your event.